In the beginning, when the earth was new and the heavens were young, God looked upon the world he had made and saw that it was good. But something was missing. The Garden of Eden, lush and green, was empty of life that could truly appreciate its beauty. So God, in his infinite wisdom, decided to create a being in his own image. From the dust of the ground, he formed Adam, breathing life into his nostrils. Adam opened his eyes, marveling at the world around him. But as Adam wandered the garden, naming the animals and tending to the plants, God noticed a loneliness in his eyes. It is not good for man to be alone, God thought. And so, while Adam slept, God took a rib from his side and fashioned a companion. Eve awoke, her eyes meeting Adam's, and they both knew they were made for each other. God blessed them, telling them to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the earth and subdue it. Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony with nature, walking with God in the cool of the day. But paradise was not to last. For in the garden there was a tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God had warned Adam and Eve not to eat from this tree, for it would bring death into the world. Enter the serpent, crafty and cunning. It slithered through the garden, its eyes fixed on Eve. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? It hissed. Eve, curious but cautious, replied that they could eat from any tree except the one in the middle of the garden. The serpent, seeing an opportunity, whispered, "You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, delicious looking, and promised wisdom. Temptation overcame her, and she took a bite. She offered the fruit to Adam, who also ate. Suddenly, their eyes were opened. They realized they were naked and felt ashamed. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves, hiding from God when they heard him walking in the garden. God called out, "Where are you?" Adam, afraid and ashamed, answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid." God knew what had happened. He questioned Adam and Eve, who blamed each other and the serpent. As punishment, God cursed the serpent to crawl on its belly. To Eve, he said childbirth would be painful, and to Adam, he declared that he would toil in sweat to work the ground. God then banished them from the Garden of Eden, placing cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life. And so, Adam and Eve left paradise, stepping into a world of hardship and mortality. But even in their fallen state, they carried with them the image of God and the promise of redemption. As they journeyed into the unknown, Adam and Eve clung to each other, facing their new reality together. They learned to cultivate the land, to raise animals, and to build shelter. Eve gave birth to children, experiencing the joy of new life alongside the pain God had foretold. Generations passed, and humanity spread across the earth. They built cities, developed languages, and created cultures. But they also brought sin and violence into the world, straying further from the perfection of Eden. Yet God did not abandon his creation. He continued to work in the world, guiding those who would listen, preparing for the day when he would send his Son to bridge the gap between heaven and earth. And so, the story of Adam and Eve became the beginning of a greater tale, a story of fall and redemption, of love and sacrifice that would echo through the ages. It reminds us that even when we fail, there is hope for forgiveness and a chance to start anew. As we reflect on this ancient tale, we see ourselves in Adam and Eve, curious, fallible, but also capable of great love and growth. Their story teaches us about choices and consequences, about the importance of trust and obedience, and about the enduring love of a creator for his creation. In the end, the story of Adam and Eve is not just about two people in a garden long ago. It's about all of us navigating life, making choices that shape our world, and seeking connection with each other and with the divine. So let us learn from their story, embracing the wisdom it offers, while recognizing the grace that follows even our greatest mistakes. For in understanding our beginnings, we gain insight into our present and hope for our future. And as we close this chapter of creation, let us remember that every ending is also a beginning. Just as Adam and Eve stepped out of Eden into a new world, so too do we face each day with the potential for growth, love, and redemption. May we carry with us the lessons of the garden, the courage to face our choices, and the hope that, no matter how far we may stray, there is always a path back to the light.